Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.
I'm trying to, I'm so glad you guys are muted. I was trying to do a Dodger intro. I was trying to be very nice, and I've never been happier to have you both muted ever in my life. You
There's
don't
gotta be some
understand.
other time.
What?
No,
It's got to be one other time.
no, there wasn't. You don't understand how much these two were jesseing before this whole thing started. I think they realize that, when I'm doing all the work, they get to be a little goofy.
I get to be a goofy little guy. Yeah, it was fun.
Except their goof was like, let's be in a metal band together. So all they were doing was going
Four songs.
the entire
she's doing
time.
scratching the dog.
Yeah, I was scratching the dog and scratching the dog, scratching the dog.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, to be a sick metal song.
Yeah, and it turned out Krendor knows how to play exactly one drum, the snare.
Yeah, I know how to play the snare drum.
So I said I could learn how to play bad bass, maybe, and then a band.
Dude, we call the band Bad Bass.
Bad bass. Scratching the dogs. I can't do that one. Yeah, you have to do that part. Jesse, what do you play?
Is this what it's like every time you host? You realize you've made a terrible mistake every single time? Is this what it's like?
I mean, you've seen how often we've had a guest, and Chad has been like, Dodger is so overwhelmed. So yeah.
Well then,
I mean, honestly,
I'm
this
doing
is
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be like, instead of System of a Down, be System of an Up. Right? Why is the music bad? Because oh, wake up!
And then you gotta do the growl. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guy in chat who
I
keeps
like the music,
asking, who keeps asking for your quarterly Krendor. Are you happy now? Are you
Only
satisfied?
like 4
We did
people,
it.
dude.
Are
At least
you
4.
not entertained? Yeah.
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 There's people in my chat, like I was saying, they'll come in, they're like, Krendor, did you realize you haven't done the quarterly Krendor? And I'm like, dude,
Krendor.
I
Guys,
asked
don't
them.
worry. Krendor
Dodger
knows.
said they have real guests coming on. They don't want fake guests like me. I was like, don't worry. Eventually, they'll run out of guests.
Mm-hmm.
And then I show up.
Yep.
Well, I think we've still hit it though. We're still in the quarter.
It's rough. Like you're pushing quarters at the end of the quarter. It's like your payments are coming in kind of late. The interest is up to like 8%. Like it's pretty close. I can calculate it right now if you want.
That just means that you have to come on again in like a month, and that way we'll be back
Exactly.
on track.
Probably like a month and a half would.
Jesse?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
right. I'm not one for math. So that sounds correct. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Look,
great.
every
Yes,
week I hang out with Krendor. So it doesn't affect me
That's
at
true.
all.
And every week I hang out with you. So
Yo, tangentially vis-a-vis, you hang out with Krendor.
Yeah, tangentially.
in a weird way.
Yeah, through osmosis.
Right. In a friend of a friend of a friend sort of way.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
See,
Like
we're I've calculated it. So we're at November, okay, and then November, December, January, February.
Whoa, what? November was the last time you were on? That's not true.
No, I'm not finished. All right, we got November. Then we had November to set because that was the episode Dodger wasn't here. And so everyone was like, Dodger hates Krendor. She's dodging him.
That's true though.
Yeah, so Octo is here. And that's where Octo and you were like, we should watch all the episodes or the movies of, what do you call it?
All the Fast and Furiouses, which they've done.
Yeah, which they've done. That stems from that glorious episode that I was on.
Which was roughly, that took 11 weeks to do. So
yeah. So that was November. Then I was on in March with Dodger.
That was just
no
you
Jesse.
And I.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
Okay.
So that's 4 months between that one. And then March, April, May, June, July. Like that's what I'm saying. You're pushing these are some long quarters.
You said it like it wasn't even a real month. July?
July. Why don't they invite me? Scratching my dog.
And by the way, to everybody who's chomping at the bit and wondering if it's gonna happen, no, Jesse and I still have not watched the Trolls movies.
I
Minion movies?
would do that if I cared about the Trolls movies.
Oh, is that from when you used to give out homework?
You won't care about them until you watch them. That's the point.
You could be right.
Homework
It'll happen. Don't worry.
You could be right. We don't talk about the past, Krendor. The past is in the past. Let it die. Let it die.
That's true.
I'm like the Kylo Ren of this podcast. Let it die. And help me find the MacGuffin that will lead me to the ruins of the Death Star and other plot devices. That's what I'm hoping for.
Though? Is this like the little doll trolls or like the actual trolls?
He didn't know that the like newer Trolls movies existed. Krendor, I need you to look deeply into the camera, and I need you to tell me that you knew that the Trolls movies existed.
See?
Yeah.
See? I'm not the only one who didn't know those were a thing. It's not on us.
This is crazy.
It's not on us to figure out what's popular with kids.
I can't even tell. I honestly can't tell.
Now, I will say, I think I knew one of the Trolls movies existed.
Hold on, is it the Justin Timberlake one? Was Justin Timberlake in one of those?
Justin Timberlake's in all of
them.
them.
Then I do know that. I do. I'm aware of that because I saw a TV thing where they were like, and with Justin Timberlake, and I couldn't care if I tried. I was like, wow.
He's the best. He's the character you will love, though. He's the best character. Chat, tell him. We gotta watch these Trolls movies, guys.
Chat, let Dodger know that her love of Justin Timberlake is a little weird. It's a little weird.
I don't give a shit about Justin Timberlake, but I do love the troll that he plays. That's different.
That's fair. I understand that.
I just looked over in chat and saw there is no best character, and part of me wants a comma. They're all great. There is no best character. All the trolls are great.
They're all great.
Every troll is amazing. Look.
Is this like a full-on series?
Apparently, yes.
2016, 2020,
yes, apparently it's a real series.
There's a bunch of movies, and then there are TV shows that are also great. And build on the lore. But the movie, all that I want Jesse to watch is the movies. We're not going to make him watch Trolltopia right away, guys. We'll scare him. We'll scare him away.
Did you watch the Minions movie? I know that was the thing.
I didn't get to watch it.
Did any of you watch it?
No.
Did you watch it, Jesse?
No.
Did you watch it?
No.
This is why they removed homework from the segments on this show.
It's true.
They can't even do their own homework.
What's so funny is that the movie I heard last week, it was great. Everyone was like, this movie is a tribute to Hollywood, and it's really well done, and like it's got like a eldritch horror thing going on in it, and it's gonna be, you'll love it, Jesse. And I was like, awesome. And then I just didn't find time this week to see it. And hilariously, the news article I heard was, while critically reviewed as a wonderful movie, no one saw the Minions movie. And I was like, well, yeah, no, count me in. Got me. I'll watch it on a plane, I guess.
Yeah. Sam and I, as two deep homebodies, have produced a child who also generally would prefer to stay home. And so twice in the last week, I've said, should we go see the Minions movie? And she'd be like, now? It's like, I want to see it, but like today, I'm so busy sitting on the couch, you know? So
there's a lot going on.
She's busy. Yeah. So but we'll get to it. I will see that movie and I will give my review.
I mean, listen, when I look up reviews, it's like 6.6, 7.6. Like I was expecting like 9s. Like,
I'm not saying it's a phenomenal movie. I'm saying that it is. They were like, it's a good movie. Which again,
Generally,
it's a Minions
people
film.
Are enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't like, oh, this is on the level of when you find out Paddington's good. No, this is just like it's a good movie. No,
like I don't care then. I thought this would be like a groundbreaking Minions movie.
Well,
like
that's why I wanted to see it, because I know you'd have a sassy take because you're like, stuck up about your movies or whatever.
Well, I'd see it if they ranked it like 9 out of 10. They're not. They're like, it's a movie.
A Minions movie will never be a 9 out of 10, dude. Not in a million years.
How do you know that?
Because
you don't know that.
The dialogue literally is a bunch of little yellow guys going, Papagena, banana. That's not going to be a 10. It's just not.
Well, then why would I go see it?
Because that's the fun of it. That's the fun.
What's the fun?
Mi bella.
You just said that's all it is. You made it sound bad. Now it's the fun?
It's not bad. That's hilarious. Dude, I think there's a line on what people are willing to tolerate, and the Minions is that line. If you can tolerate the Minions, you can tolerate anything. And I love those little guys. I love them.
My perfect scenario would have been that I come to this show today and I did not see it, but the both of you took time out of your life to go see it. That would have been, I think, the perfect dynamic, because I can go and everybody will be like, for the kid, but you guys would have had to go just for yourselves. And I mean,
they'd probably see me and be like, that guy looks like he likes Minions.
Looks like a dude who loves Minions.
That's a guy who likes Minions.
I would have had to have gone by myself. And the only way I could do that is if I went out and bought a Minion shirt and wore it. And just showed up, bought a Minions cup, and like by myself just sat there like, yeah!
Oh my God.
I would have done
they'd
that.
Probably see you and they'd be like, yeah, that's
Disney
a Minions
adult,
guy.
but Minions.
I can see you as a Minions guy.
Go to Universal Studios. You think there's Disney adults? Universal Studios has its own level of adults. The Harry Potter adults, it's too much. It's too much. But then you'll find there's 3 adults at Universal Studios, which, by the way, Universal Studios LA, you can do that in like half a day. Go there, pound it out. It's actually super fun. And the Harry Potter area is like, whatever. I don't give a damn about Harry Potter. But the Simpsons area is goofy as hell. Although the Simpsons ride makes me sick constantly. That ride is like, I don't even know. It's like designed to make you want to puke. But essentially it's like Simpsons adults, which are the dudes who go to the Moe's bar and get drunk in that bar and do nothing else. There's the Harry Potter adults who go to Harry Potter and like, I got me a bit. And you're like, oh my God, please stop. And then there are the Minions adults. And they're the people who like literally walk around and go, banana, the entire time. And it's crazy, and I love them. Because it's clear those people don't give a shit. And I appreciate that. I think that's great.
I really love when something gets insanely popular to the point that most people just fucking hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But it sticks around. It's like it just doesn't go away, and it sticks around long enough that I start to go, okay, I kind of like it now. Minions, that's Minions for me.
Sure.
Like, go look up when the first Despicable Me movie came out. It was a long time ago. It's had so much time to do this.
My favorite part about
maybe this.
Have either of you seen the actual Minions movie? The one where they like go steal the
I've
crown
seen
jewels
all
and
of
stuff.
that.
First off,
Yeah.
I have.
I think so. I think I
It's
watched
delightful.
it with, it was like me, Toast Roman, and Gmart watched it because we were
Great.
like, should we like watch this? Like it's Minions, and then we did, and then Gmart was like, well, that was a film.
It
And we're like, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The first half of that movie is delightful. The second half is like, we're trying to do a plot, and it's like, whatever. No. But the first half is delightful. They like are like, we're gonna go be minions to people. And I must stress, my favorite part of that movie is the plot point that needed to be made by the filmmakers that the minions throughout history, since dinosaur times, have been running around picking the worst person who exists to be their minions. Up until the 1900s, and they were frozen in ice because they can't work for Hitler. So Napoleon, yes, like all through history, they actively worked with the worst person possible, except Hitler. They were frozen in ice at the time.
Because they were frozen, guys.
It's so funny. I think that's hilarious. I'm like, yeah, well, of course. You don't want like Nazi minions. That would be ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd have like so many choices nowadays.
Yep.
It'd be-
Yeah. As far as I can tell, they
Really
were
off the
frozen from the early 1900s all the way up until the 2000s. So for recent modern history, no minion was evolved in any atrocity. None. However, in the 1800s in the past, every single time, minions were there.
Every atrocity. they were
Genghis
involved.
Khan, minions. It happened. Yeah.
Dude, did Genghis Khan breed with the minions?
That's why
No.
they're
'Cause
so.
he was
Yeah,
like-
that's why everyone's related.
We cannot go down
Yes.
this road. No,
Yes.
stop. We
Yes.
cannot do this. We
A
can't
vast
do this.
majority of people have
It's a
minion
question that
DNA.
needs to be
It's
asked.
true. Yes.
Oh,
That was
Yes.
his thing.
stop.
Mhm. There are, if you do a DNA test, I promise you, so a lot of
Yeah.
people have minion DNA. It's built in. Just like how there's some people that
That's
have
what I've been
Neanderthal DNA, some people have minion DNA. It's just true. It's just true.
I've been saying that for years.
If you have glasses, you are like 3% minion. It's true.
Can I say
know what I
something
am.
controversial?
Unlike everything else that's been said so
Yeah.
far, yeah, go for it.
I don't really like butterscotch.
Oh, that is surprising because you're an old man.
Yeah, exactly. I hate it.
What do you
It
not like about
tastes-
it?
It just tastes terrible.
Hmm.
I don't know why people like,
Like
it. It's just,
like a Werther's? You don't like a Werther's?
I mean, the Werther's, I feel like the actual butterscotch, because I thought of butterbeer. That shit's got butterscotch in it.
Mm.
That's just like, ugh. Like it just, I don't know what it is. It makes me gag.
No, can I tell you, if you go to that area of Universal, the butterbeer's fine. But this thing that really slaps is the pumpkin soda. And I've been
I
been
didn't see
bitter.
pumpkin soda. I saw butterbeer and frozen butterbeer, but I didn't see pumpkin soda.
you have to look beyond the butterbeer. They're trying to bedazzle you.
Beyond the butterbeer.
You have to see
Look
beyond the
beyond
butterbeer.
The butterbeer.
There is pumpkin soda there, and it slaps ass. It's so good, and I've never been able to find anything remotely like it out in the wild.
That sounds like a
Which is such a
documentary
bummer.
too. Beyond the butterbeer.
Yeah.
Beyond the butterbeer.
It actually kind of sucks because in my mind, I always assumed butterbeer was like beer, but it's really root beer. It's like it's like
Yeah, but it's got butterscotch in it, so it's even
sure,
worse.
no, it's like cookie butter or almond
Yeah.
butter. Same vibe where it's
Sorry.
just yeah. It's like it's butterscotch beer instead of root beer. I don't know. I was expecting to get drunk. I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
deeply
what I saw
disappointed with
about it.
Harry Potter, is what I'm saying.
You have to. We all are. You have to go to the Simpsons area for that.
And I
That's
did.
established.
And I did. I
Mhm.
went and I
Good.
got drunk at Moe's. It was great. Yeah.
That does sound pretty great. I wish I could get drunk at Moe's.
Oh, dude. There was one guy and his wife. I'm going to say they were both in their 70s. And they kept going. They'd like go to the bar, get a drink, walk to a corner, pound that drink, go back to the bar, get in line. And they'd like hey, yeah, we're back again. Give us one of those mo's. And he's like, oh, all right. And then they give him, and then they go to the corner, drink really quick, and then go. I was like, you could have gone to any bar to do this. Why are you here? It isn't even like a great themed bar. There's one like love test in the corner that basically always tells you suck. And then there's a bunch of seats for the restaurant next door. So there are people eating their like Krusty Burger. But really, it isn't like a real bar. It's just a place where you stand in line and get a drink. And I'm like, what? We're in Hollywood. You could literally just go down the street and go anywhere. Why are you here? And they're like doing the circle. We're sitting there eating, and I watched those people do it 3 times. I was like, okay, sure, guys.
They love Moe's.
I guess.
Do you think it's one of those situations where like people are paid to just stay there?
No way these 2 70-year-old people that were dressed like they were on vacation. They were dressed like they were on vacation. Why are you dressed like that at Universal Studios? Why?
You should be in a Minions outfit. We've talked about this.
Yeah. Or buy one of the incredibly expensive Mario outfits that are there. The amount of like Mario merch, crazy. Also, I will say the Mario ride, the like Mario Kart ride is one of the weirdest rides I've ever been on, because you are in a cart, 4 people. So there's 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and you each have steering wheels. And then you have to put on VR headsets, but it's like AR because you're going through a ride. But then as you go through, Mario Kart characters will appear in your VR, and you have to use your steering wheel because arrows will appear, and it'll be like, turn right. You have to turn right. But it doesn't affect your car at all as far as I can tell. And so everyone has to do their own turning. And then you have little triggers.
So you're turning, but like visually, you're not.
Visually, you can look around, you can do whatever, because there are guys everywhere. And you're on a team. Right. So if you're on Team Mario, you have to shoot all the Koopa kids. And I assume you could be on Bowser's team. But whatever the case may be, is you sit there and you have to like blast shells at guys and collect shells. And you have to get points. And it's like, if you get over 100 points, you're a good Mario Kart driver.
Do they say it just like that?
They don't say a word. There's actually no text whatsoever. There is, when you go there and stand in line and you get to the intro bit where it explains how to play. I've never been on a ride where the explanation of how to play was, I'm going to say, 8 minutes long. Like, it is a full-on.
Terrible.
You have to watch a video. There's no text. It's Mario, so it's like, wow. You know, like, things appear on screen, and it'll be like, do this, and it's like boop, 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 and it will have a bunch of text. It's very Nintendo coded, the whole thing, which is great, but it's so long because there are so many rules. It has to explain how to put the headset on. It has to explain how to drive your car. It has to explain how to shoot the turtle shells at people, and then what it does when you shoot it at good people versus bad people. Then it has to explain how to collect the turtle shells. I was just like,
it shouldn't have to explain all that. That's dumb.
I was like, let's go. Let's get a move on. I want to ride.
Whenever there's like board games or shit, that was every time we played the co-optional lounge. You like sit there, get the rules explained for like 20 minutes. It's like, dude, just let's play.
I'd much rather have a person who knows what they're doing tell me what to do as we play. The problem is you can't do that on a ride like this, and they have to do it for kids. So there is no VO. It's all like creative animation, and it reminds me kind of when you learn to do like a Wii Sports or something, where there's something like that. Dodger absolutely went. Dodger, you froze in like the best. You went. You had like a moment. Good. You were like, I was like, well, if we lose her,
also,
that's,
great way to go out. The kids aren't even paying attention to the rules.
No, the kids the entire
drive
time.
This shit.
The only people paying attention were the adults. And thankfully, I was in a group where the 2 people in front of us, and then like our 4, right, was locked in. We were locked in. I didn't even know these people. We were locked in. It was like, all right, let's go. We all scored over 100. We came out the other side, and they were like, "You're our best drivers of the day." And we're like, "Yeah," because we're all like 30. Like we're all in our like 30 plus over here. Yeah, we got like 40-year-olds. We're fine. We got it. It's like it's a cool ride, but other than that, the Mario area is like for Instagram or TikTok. You walk in, everyone's taking photos, and like, wow, look at me, I'm punching a thing. I don't know what, aside from that one ride and like a get in the back of a Yoshi and move slowly through the thing, I don't know what else is there. The restaurant, in order to go in the restaurant, you have to sign up, you have to download an app, sign up with the app, get a reservation, then get to go in. I was like, nah, that's too many steps. I just wanted to go see what weird food you had in there. I don't want to like, there was a guard outside who's like, did you get the app? It's like, no, I didn't get the app. What the hell are you talking about? I just want to see what's going on in there. He's like, you have to have the app if you want to get in. I'm like,
that's stupid.
Everybody's got an app. Everybody's got an app now, and they're like, get my app. But it's like, I don't want your shitty ass app.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Everything makes you download an app. I went on a huge rant to my child who does not care. I went on a huge rant the other day about how many fucking parking apps I have on my phone. I don't know if it's like this in America right now, but like every parking lot that we park in where we have to pay, they've gotten rid of the parking machine. You have to download an app. And I have like 8 different parking apps on my phone. I was like, we can't all just agree. We can't just a couple. We can't just have a couple of them. Everybody's got to have a different one. And my kid was like, This doesn't give a shit. Too many.
There's
my hot take, lukewarm take.
In LA, it isn't apps. There's 2 versions. There's the one where you get a ticket, but it scans everything about your car. So when you leave, if you've prepaid your ticket, you don't even have to show it your ticket. It'll just be like, I see you're here. And then let you go, which always freaks me out because it means when I came in, 80 cameras took photos of my car. And I'm like,
I had one of those when we went to, it was like the anime convention here in Chicago, and then it was right by this mall. We always park at the mall, and I was like, oh, they upgraded their thing. Yeah, you pull in, and they're like, we know that you'll be here for a certain amount of time.
It's crazy.
And then you like check the thing, and it's like, you have 40 minutes until we charge you, and then you leave, and they're just like, all right, yeah, you're gone. And you're like, okay.
And they'll give you the ticket simply so you can pay. Other than that, it's not needed. It is crazy. That or outside in public spaces now, they have a QR code, and you scan the QR code and it'll take you to a website. And then it's like, input your parking space number, and then when you leave, pay. So you just go back to their website and pay, which honestly is better than an app. I'll take that. But also, I find it highly suspicious because I'm like, well, what if I don't do that? What if I just pull in, park, and then like, there's no one here. There's no attendee at the lot.
I'm pretty sure that I think Sony shows up and they're like, you're looking for physical media. They got a bat. And they start whacking you. Yeah. They're like, give us your games, you piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
We've been buying Blu-rays.
You're like Kojima.
You guys are on Blu-rays?
Yeah, we're buying the Blu-rays again because we're paying for things like Disney Plus, and they're like, actually, what if we up it to like $15, $17, $20 a month? And I was like, probably just buy the Blu-ray.
Yeah. Dude,
We've just been doing that on eBay, getting them like cheap.
We have complained many a time about streaming services, but
I literally only have HBO because it comes with my cable service that comes free with the apartment. And then I have Amazon because I have Amazon Prime to order stuff for the office. That's it. Like, I will not suffer any of those other streaming services because they suck so bad. And I'm fine. I haven't do I want to watch some of those shows? Sure. Do I need to? No. Like, I'm okay. Like, did I enjoy season 1 of One Piece? I'm about to call it the pirate show. Season 1 of One Piece? Yes, I did.
I think we know what you were talking about.
Do I need to see season 2? No. And then I saw a thing that said, no one's watching season 2 on Netflix. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm that guy. You've ruined your service so bad that stuff I want to watch, I'm not going to actively go back and watch.
I'm convinced that you're complaining about this out loud around your phone, and then your phone is showing you articles that have to do with the shows that you're like, I didn't watch that thing.
Yeah, I actively have a free coupon for a month of Apple TV, and I'm saving it until I have exactly 30 episodes of shows to watch, so I can watch a show every day while I work out. That's my plan.
Smart.
I'm like, I will not give them a cent. I will get my free month, and I will binge everything, and I will get out. Right?
Dude, everybody will give you some free shit if you just like try to leave or just like get some other promotion. The amount of times I've been like, you know what, I'm just gonna cancel this thing. And they're like, but what if you stay for like $3?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I gotta stay for $3. That's a deal.
Yes.
Dude, I was gonna cancel Photoshop because I was like, I've been using like other stuff. Like, I don't think I need Photoshop. They're like, what if we just give you 4 months for free? And I was like, okay, I'll take that. Never mind.
Adobe's so funny because they're like, we're going to jack up all the prices. Oh, you're leaving? What if we gave it to you for free for a while? And you're like, then stop jacking up the prices, assholes.
For real.
Yeah. It's dumb. It sucks.
Yeah. Adobe is such an issue. Like, they do not understand their customer base at all.
Yeah, like I was going to say this for the news, but I feel like it does, it's kind of funny. Last week we learned that Sony was killing discs, right? And we also learned this week that a lot of the insiders into like the Sony world basically said that executives at the top were like, oh, we know people will be mad. We don't care. Most of our users are switching over anyway, and those who complain will switch over anyway. Like, that's kind of what they said. But
yeah,
we apparently there was a film festival that was happening in Italy, and Kojima was there, and he said, and I quote, "I find it really sad. Games are downloaded to the hard drive, and that means the game data remains on your own hardware." By the way, he's explaining this to movie people instead of like game people, so he's trying to he's doing a thing. However, if things shift to streaming in the future,
foundational information.
Yes, yeah, he's if things switch to streaming in the future, that won't be the case anymore. And this is where it comes to like movies and stuff. With streaming subscription services like Netflix or Amazon, there's a server somewhere and you essentially just have the right to turn on the tap. When you do, the data flows. That's how movies work on these platforms, right? You don't download the data, you access it directly through a subscription. And the consequence of that is that you don't actually possess the data yourself. There are companies that own these servers and let you turn the tap on for a monthly fee. However, with nations, politics, various ways of thinking, one naturally has to consider the possibility that if there is a change, the data inside will stop being distributed. And if that happens, you won't be able to watch or play the movies and games you like. And he continues going on, but basically he's like, when you rent a thing, you don't own a thing. And that's kind of what's happening. So he was like, I'm buying Blu-rays. I'm buying Blu-rays and DVDs. I'm collecting a bunch. Yeah, he's like, I don't play that game anymore. I don't do streaming. I was like, damn, okay, Kojima.
Yeah. It's hard because like there are a couple of shows that just aren't on anything anymore.
Sure.
And you can't buy them physically. And Sam and I have looked at each other like, do we get it by any means necessary and then burn it? Like, what's our option here? It just doesn't exist.
There's an interesting thing as well when it comes to the fact that even if you buy a disc, because of so many day one patches, if you cut off the internet or cut off whatever and you have your disc, right? Let's say we're living in a future where it's like, thank God I have my PS5 and my disc, and I don't need the world as I live out in the woods. Sometimes you'll put that disc in and it just won't, you're not going to have a game. Even if you have the disc, because of all the stuff they had to re-download to make it playable. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah. It's an interesting time. It's not like get a cartridge for your 64 and it just works.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, those cartridges are selling for like $100 to $200 now.
Yeah.
Like, people are paying crazy prices. Yeah, like N64 games, if you got the box and everything, it's selling for like $100 to $200.
Oh, that's
like
crazy.
People they're paying. I mean,
I don't
physical
think we
media
ever
is
kept the box, but
yeah, it's in a resurgence now.
It also depends on the why, because there's a lot of increased prices because some dude, like we've talked about this before in the past, the people who price games were also caught being the people who like Oh, yes, I'm the friend of the guy who had this game. Oh, yes, this Zelda is worth $200. And he's like, this Zelda's $200. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird circular thing of, oh, yes, I have this copy of Pokemon. How much is it worth? And their friend is like, $400. And he hands it back. Like, this is a $400 Pokemon. And everyone just accepts it because the dude's friend is like the guy who grades things. And so it was all like a weird scam. A lot of grading is a scam, is what I've discovered.
Well, that's true. But I think a lot of this is just nostalgic people building things like, I got an old N64. I'm going to make a video game room and have like actual physical cartridges.
Oh,
and, like, I can play
I'm
games
not saying that that's
want.
not a thing. I agree with you. I think there's a lot of that. But the reason why, in general, older games have had a price increase is because these dudes like scam the system and raise the price of everything.
Well, yeah. That's like Pokemon cards.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, by the way, at my grocery store, there's a Pokemon terminal station thing with cards. And it literally has a sign that says, do not loiter. And every time I'm there, there's one dude. It's a different guy every time, but there's always one guy who looks like the skeeziest man who ever lived on planet Earth, sitting there on his phone next to the thing. And I'm like, what is he waiting for? What is he? Is he waiting for a new card to drop? Like, what is it? It's a machine. Somebody has to come fill it. It doesn't just magically show up. He's just sitting there.
Well, every time they allow you to buy every so often. He's probably like trying to, because I saw something where they try to like calculate how often they can buy another pack. Or it's some shit like that. I don't know.
Oh my God. Speaking of, in the mall, the Westfield Culver Mall, you know this one very well, Dodger. In the food court area now, they have a giant, massive, all black and gold box. And it is literally a gotcha machine. It is a gambling machine where it has a giant screen. The screen advertises, if you are a fan of sports or Pokemon or whatever, if you give us X amount of dollars, we will give you a random thing from that. And it's like values up to $100,000. And it's like signed jerseys or rare, graded Pokemon cards or total trash. And the amount of people I see standing in front of it, just like, oh, I hope I get this thing, is crazy. It's real world gotcha. Huh. I can't believe it. I was like, what?
Woof.
I mean, there's a reason it works. There's a reason it's been working for years. Now they just start doing it in real life because they realize how much it works online. It's gambling.
It is
clearly.
Gambling,
yeah.
It's just a gigantic gambling machine out in the open.
I read an entire book on like the act of like how dopamine works. And dopamine, because people actually are like, oh, dopamine, I'm getting my hit of dopamine. But dopamine's the thing that makes you want to do the thing. So it's like, I need to do this because I could get this. So you're like, oh, and then you get that dopamine hit. But when you actually get the thing, then you're like, whatever. Because then you're like, dopamine goes away. So it's the chemical that makes you want to do the thing.
That's me at every convention ever. I will see a shirt, wait in line for the shirt, get the shirt and be like,
that wasn't worth it.
Yeah, what do I... But I'm like, I need, if I don't have it, then who am I? If I didn't get it, it was like I wasn't even here.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, listen, I play horse girl racing still. All right. I'm still doing that. I got like, 700 hours, but it's, I don't spend as much as I used to. Now I'm actually I've become more of a free to play player, but that's because I've also gotten all the things I need.
Yeah.
Octopimp, that man. Every time I'm like, hey man, you still doing Uma? He's just like, yeah. Every time I check his like friendship card, he's like maxed out the latest one.
Man knows what he likes.
I can borrow that.
Locked in. Yeah. He's locked in.
Yeah, he's locked in. So there's a few people I know.
The Umas are powerful.
They are powerful. That's true.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's still a solid game. If you like sports stat simulation, like I do,
which you do,
yeah, I love it.
Sorry,
it's
I keep
great.
it really close to the microphone.
It's fine. We like it when you're like, I'm so engaged.
I'm so having such a good time with my friends.
Yeah, see? Perfect.
Okay.
Great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's really, I think, the only gacha mobile game that I'll ever play. Like, I can't handle any gacha game stuff outside of like that.
I'm still a staunch minnow. I don't spend money on mobile games ever.
The opposite of Sam.
It's the opposite of Sam. I have to balance it somehow. But
Yeah.
it's really, some of these games, it's really fun to see like, how long can I play this until it's not fun anymore? Where's the wall gonna be? And a lot of games, the wall happens so fast.
Yes.
Like it's so quick.
There's also a weird thing in especially mobile gacha games where when it first starts, like if it's a brand new game and I have some interest in it, I'll be like, oh, cool, this is kind of fun. There, I only have to play for a little bit. I'm not going to spend any money on this thing. Super fun. And then what happens every time is over the course of, let's say, a year, they add so many additional features and all designed to keep you playing as long as possible. Where the one game I was playing, Adventure Land, whatever the hell that was, the one I was playing that was like,
what?
I don't know. Some game got me because it had a sexy cat girl, and I was like, well, I'm going to play this. So, and I did, and I played it and was having a good time. But then what ended up happening is they introduced like multiple daily things to do, a town that you could then like mess around with, a bunch of other like boss fight thing. Eventually it became so much that I was like, I just don't care. Like, you've made it a job. And I don't care about you enough. So I was like, delete. And my phone, once again, has returned to being literally a thing for text messages, and that's it. I got nothing else on here. Wait, that's a lie. Except for the multiple... I bought tickets to a concert in October, and I had to buy them online. But in order to get them, I had to download an app. But then had to download another app to use it to show. They were like, well, the app is how you get the ticket, but then the other app is going to have the ticket on your phone, so you can, but you have to have the app. I was like, what the fuck? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Now, I will say, Horse Girl Racing did have it did have the last scenario mode, which was the Mant mode, or Track Blazer, Trailblazer, or whatever it's called. And that made a lot of people quit because it was just long as shit. So like normally you could bust out a run in like 20, 30 minutes. Then they added this mode. It took like an hour to do a run. So
but
like,
couldn't you still just do the short runs if you didn't want
if
to?
you want inferior horse girls that aren't good at the current races, sure, you could do that.
If you're trying to have fun. Trainer.
Yeah, if you're just like playing because you're a baby.
Right, okay, I see.
So,
well, I don't want to be a baby, so I might as well uninstall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I only did like a couple runs a week at that point. Because at first you're like, yo, this is fun. And then you're just like, all right, I gotta log in. There we go. Do this. You race and you race and you race up. I got to use my energy up, and then I got to use my mood up. You got to give them the cupcake. The cupcake ups your mood. And you got to give them the kale juice, but you have to do it with a cupcake so that they don't get the mood down. You know, just your standard. Just and then you hit a point where you're just
racing,
like, yeah, everybody was just like, I don't know. And then they just did a patch, and they were like, hey guys, we updated the old modes so that they're now better than this one. Also, a new mode's coming in a couple weeks. And everybody started playing again. Because they're just like, holy shit, I can play again because it only takes like 25 minutes to do a run instead of half the day. So yeah.
But that's the thing is they keep you playing as long as possible. I just don't want to look at my phone for as long as possible. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't even play on my phone. I play on my computer.
Bless. You found a workaround. I don't like that. I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to be involved with anything like that. And I say that as a person who will play a game thinking I'll play an hour and then 5 hours will pass. And I'll be like, well, all right. But I want that instead of feeling like it's 5 hours. And I think a lot of those gacha games make it feel like time is ticking by.
Not horse girl gaming, that's for sure. It's listen, it's when it's that old mode, you have to use brain power. You got to be like, when am I using these items? I got to do these races. I got to do all. But now, once we go back to the old mode, it's just click speed, bubble pops. It goes woo, and then you're like, ooh, brain chemicals,
brain candy. Yeah.
So like when my video's rendering, when I'm watching something, I'm just like, I'll just do my run. So you just keep clicking over, like, what's good? Wit? Okay, take wit.
I have to leave, but I'm gonna put you in a box. Okay. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Bye. There you go. Here's your box. Go in the box. There you go. Have a good time. Okay, bye-bye.
All right.
What just happened here?
I think she
just left us. She left.
Yeah, I think
us.
she went into a box.
I'm pretty sure she said she had to go do a thing with her kid, but like I just want to say for the record that I didn't know that quick. So hers being in a box. Look, all right, sure. Look how professional we can be. We'll do this.
This is what I'm saying. Every time I'm on this program, someone's trying to get out of here.
Dodger doesn't want to be
fast.
here with you, dude. Every time she tells me frequently how much she hates you. She says, and I hate
except for that last
Krendor.
episode. That last episode was just me and her the whole time. But you could tell on the inside she was hating it.
Yeah. Look at that. Look easy, done, simple, fixed. Okay.
There it is. It's fixed.
Yeah. There
this
it is.
This would never happen on a podcast like youtube.com/Cox and Krendor podcast. That's for sure.
Yeah. And the best part is people who kept spamming chat like, why is it on Jesse's channel? Why is it on Jesse's channel? Now you have your answers. I don't even have to tell you. I didn't have to tell you.
Yeah.
You got it. If you just watch long enough, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because she had to leave. She had to go to her kids' show or whatever.
Yeah, her kids' show.
So
kids. Ridiculous. So what did you do? Play anything this week besides Horse Girls? What did you do, my dude?
Oh man, what did I do?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Oh boy, yeah, I'm thinking. I mean, Friday, got to get down on Friday.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just honestly, I've been doing YouTube for WoW stuff.
Honestly, I've been doing YouTube. Like everyone knows you're doing YouTube. That's your job, man. That's what you do.
Yeah.
People are aware of it. What else?
I've been doing more YouTube than usual though. You know what I'm saying? Like I just made my which WoW racials are actually fun video. That was a good one.
And which is the most fun WoW racial?
Gotta watch the video to find out.
Son of a just give me one. Give me one.
I did rank the Dark Iron Dwarves very high because you get some movement speed inside. You get the mole machines, right? Very fun. You can just kind of warp all over the place. They got some other cool things. Like Dark Iron Dwarves got some fantastic racials.
Do they still have racials in WoW? Is that still a thing?
Yeah. Yeah. However, some are much better than others. For example, then you go to like orcs. Like after you look at some of these like newer racials, they're just like, you got the mole machine. You can teleport all over. You like eat gems and gain abilities. You like can go over here. You got this thing. And then they're like, orcs are like, you got like 10% stun resist and you're an orc. And you got that one ability you can pop that's been in the game for like 22 years.
I mean, so I think that's kind of like that's like a problem with the methodology and thought process behind the game. Early on in that classic WoW period, it was like your racial bonus is something that is going to like statistically change a thing, or you can run a little faster, or you can breathe underwater forever, or whatever. And then it became, I think, what current WoW is, which is like, what kind of goofy fun thing can we do? Which is a preference. It's all preference based. Like I technically love those new racials that are like, yeah, it's going to be goofy, have fun with it, because we realize racials don't really matter.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of what I wish they would do more of. I wish they'd go back and just kind of redo some of the older racials, because there's like some are just real bad, like the Blood Elf ones too. just boring. Like there's nothing fun there. And I was like, dude, I'd really just wish they'd make racials like a fun thing. Like just go all out. It doesn't have to be crazy. Like one of them, even the Night Elf one's pretty fun, where it's like, oh, at nighttime you get bonus crit or attack speed, and then the daytime you get bonus crit. So it's like depending on the time of day, you get different stats. And they got shadow meld and everything. I'm like, yo, this is pretty fun. Right? The problem is that there's certain people, they're just like, orcs are good because 10% stun resistant PvP is like so fantastic. So if you're a PvPer, then you love those things. But it's like, I don't think racials should be like that. I think they should just be fun and goofy. Or like if it's like, okay, 1% stamina buff, like cool, whatever. Like that type of thing. But there should be many fun things with it.
Yeah. I think having the 10% whatever, that's fine. It reminds me a little bit of Diablo stats, where after a while you're just like, I don't care about the like 0.6% more increase to your critical hit. Like, give me spectacle. I think I've realized in my old wizened age, I want spectacle in things. I want things to look cool and be fun. And I want to have, I literally, even though this was totally sponsored, by the end it certainly wasn't. I played Granblue Fantasy Relink on the channel yesterday, and I realized that, like, one, my computer I think is actually working, which is great. But two, they were like, yeah, we'll pay you to play 2 hours. I played for 4. That's how much I enjoyed this experience. And what's crazy is the game, it's very clear. They're like, hey, did you play the previous stuff? No? All right, here's a quick summary of what's going on. Let's jump into it. And from that point on, pure spectacle. The best way I can describe this thing is it's like every character has an anime face, but their armor and gear looks like artwork from Final Fantasy Tactics. And the gameplay is like Monster Hunter. I loved it. And what's crazy is you can unlock other characters as you go through, and I unlocked a little tiny fisherman man. And he has 2 swords, and he's like, he looks like Yoda. When he fights, he jumps around the screen. It was awesome. And every fight is a spectacle. Like, it is, the first fight is against a giant dragon. That was awesome. The second fight was against some sort of like wind-looking dude. That was awesome. And then you fight a guy, Krendor. I don't want to spoil much, but there is the villains, as far as I can tell, are basically the bad guys from the Twilight movies, which there's literally one girl who's a small girl, and she just goes, I talk like this the entire time because I'm super evil. And so what ends up happening is you meet like a big buff bull man, and his whole thing is he has a spear. And when you fight him, it's like a glorious looking fight. It's like way over the top, very fun. But at the end, he's like, I'm getting out of here. This man takes his spear, throws his spear, then runs, jumps on his spear that he threw, and rides it like a skateboard through the sky. Krendor, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, holy shit. And then one of the characters literally goes, so that happened, which is exactly how I felt. I loved it. Good stuff. I did not know what to expect with this game. I thought it was going to be kind of like just a normal RPG with like, action combat mechanics.
Right.
There's a whole system where you like go and you can do what is essentially the quest system in Monster Hunter. And I was like, what the hell is this? And then I guess you can play with other people. So you can unlock new characters, and they have all sorts of different, characters you can be. But like, I just found this little tiny, he looks like a Lalafell in Final Fantasy 14. He's got a big mustache. He's got 2 swords, and they're like an old fisherman. And the entire time he's like, all right, let's go. I'm old. And I'm like, yes, I love him. And he jumps around like Yoda and murders everyone. He's got crazy combos. Krendor, cinema is what it was. Cinema. The entire time I could not believe how wild it looked. It reminds me of like in Final Fantasy 14, the newest Alliance raid, the last fight literally is like, everyone get on this thing and form a shield, and this big dragon like slamming swords on the ground. All of you have to like make a shield together. I need that in games. I want grand over the top moments. I want spectacle in my games from now on. I've decided I'm a spectacle player. I want shit to look awesome. I want moments where I'm like, what am I looking at? That's what I'm here for now. This is 2026 is the year of spectacle. Everyone send me spectacle games. I want to feel the same way I felt when I played Metal Gear Revengeance, right? I played Bayonetta. I want to be on that level now. That's where I'm at mentally. I want to just experience spectacle. I don't know why Horse Girls is still a thing on the screen, but you know.
I mean, Horse Girls is all about spectacle. When you think about it.
Yeah. That's what I
mean, I feel like you've always been a spectacle person.
I don't know. I like a good story. I've always been a story person, but I realized that I think at some point I clicked over and that I want to like have moments where it feels like, oh shit, what am I watching? Like Asura's Wrath is a great example, chat. The fact there's a fight where like a dude grows the size of Earth and slams his finger down on it, and your guy's like, that's awesome. I think I have to go back and watch Dragon Ball Z again, dude. I think I went full circle from me as a kid. I reached that point in life where I want to just go full Dragon Ball. Like I want to watch Goku just be like, again. That's what I want in life.
You just want everything over the top.
Yeah, I don't
what
like.
You want.
I don't know that I want it over the top, but I want like something stunning that I don't necessarily. I feel like at some point, video games decided that everything needed to be like really serious, and now I don't want serious. I don't want that. I want like, did Fast and Furious ruin Jesse? I don't know if it ruined, but it unlocked a part of me that wants to see two men fly a car into space. Yes, I want to see that.
Well, it depends on what you're playing. Just saying video games did that. I mean, there's plenty of games that have not done that. And I don't play many games that do that. I play very few serious games. I think you've played a lot of serious games.
Yes. Oh,
and that's probably
yes.
more into the ones you're into.
I play a lot of like story-based games that the stories, I feel like when it comes to RPGs or like story-based adventure games, they really went into grounded reality, serious. I think honestly, someone decided that adult games meant it's got to have like characters who are moody and they're going through some shit. But also maybe there's one half of a sex scene and like, you know, everyone's like, the world's terrible, right? There's a lot of that. And I think I want like a moment where it gets crazy. Like there's like wizards shooting lightning bolts and there's like a guy who's like, you shall not pass. Like I want you know, like I think I've just discovered this, Crendor, that Lord of the Rings rocks.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've just figured this out where
that's crazy.
It can be high fantasy, but feel very down to earth when you're in like the Shire or whatever. But then Gandalf is like, I'm going to battle this giant fire and shadow creature. And you're like, yes. Yeah. I need that. I want that in more stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I wish they did that in World of Warcraft more. That'd be pretty cool.
That's honestly one of the reasons I'm like, you have all these things, like you had us fight old gods and that was cool as hell. But then you kind of like, all right, fight this one dragon. It's like, no, you can't make us go on like an intergalactic level of battle and not have us fight like a giant man the size of the planet. I want that battle. I want to see World of Warcraft be like, we're doing 40 mans again, and it's 40 people versus a literal deity the size of the world. I would be like, yes.
It's Sargeras, dude. He stabbed the earth with his giant ass sword, and they're
Wouldn't
just
it be
like, yeah, he's dead.
Could you imagine if this is my pitch to them? All right. I don't know if it needs to be Sargeras. I don't know what that dude's up to. He's probably still fighting Illidan somewhere far away. if it was, for example, like a giant dude with a massive sword and he's going to stab the earth, can you imagine if phase 1 is you're battling this dude and he's like swinging on the ground and they make you have to do jump mechanics to jump over the thing swinging on the ground, right? Then your characters in a cutscene are like running up the sword. You're running up the sword. This guy's like, and then you start attacking his head. You're fighting his head. He's like, oh, get off of me, right? And you're fighting his head. Then he knocks you off, and then you have to like do a whole, right? You get on an airship.
This is like an episode of Attack on Titan.
Yes, dude. There's airships like the one from like the battle that's in Ice Crown. You're on the end. You have to like shoot him, right? And then like there's dudes like, all right, everyone, we're jumping off, like jump off, and right? Deathwing, yes. We need more of that, except cool. Deathwing was stupid because you were just on a dude's back, and that's dumb. I don't want that. I want, like, visually, Deathwing didn't do anything. He just went like this, he floated, and then eventually go, oh, I'm tilted a little bit. Oh, I'm tilted a little bit. Nah, screw that. I want, like, visually insane looking. Cover up your boring fight mechanics with something that looks cool as shit. That's what I want. I want,
dude, that's like on a smaller scale. It's like that guy in Ulduar that you killed and he became a bridge.
Yes.
He was like his walk across.
And that is so beloved that is copied in numerous games. There's a guy like that in 14. Yeah. There's guys like that in tons of games. Literally just, it's a thing that exists. Because it was such a fun little thing. I don't know. I just want to see spectacle. And they got cinematics people. They can fudge it a little bit. They can put you in a cinematic between moments and have you, like, I don't know, man. Try something fun. Do something interesting. I don't know. And people will be like, I don't like that. That's stupid. Well, you're stupid. Have fun.
Yeah. I've been replaying Warcraft 3 on stream, which all my VODs are up on the old Krendor VODs channel, of course. But really good thumbnails there, by the way, if you haven't seen those. But I've been doing that just to be like, what was the old Warcraft 3 story like? So I've been doing that, and I think part of the fun of Warcraft 3 is it's goofy. Because people will be like, oh, bring back orcs versus humans. Those were the days. And like when you play Warcraft 3, there's the point. They're like, the orcs, humans, and elves have to join together to defeat the demons. And I'm like, well, that's not not even really an orc versus human thing. Everyone's joining together in Warcraft 3 to defeat the demons. We do this in WoW all the time. So I'm like, what's the difference? It's just like, it's kind of goofier. It's got like it's not taking itself seriously. It feels like everybody's trying to do their own thing. They're not trying. I think part of it is it almost feels like there's numerous races that are their own factions. The Night Elves are like, God, we hate these people, but you know what? We got to work together. Then the orcs are like, yeah, we hate them, but you know what? We got to work. And it's almost like they come together even though they don't want to. But in modern WoW, they're just kind of like, we'll just like come together just to do it because the story calls for it to happen. And it just doesn't have that same feel to it.
Yeah, like, so that is a great example. So the end of spoilers for the end of the original Warcraft 3, it's a spectacle moment, right? I think that's the problem that I have with Warcraft currently is they'll do things like you fight a giant boss and it's like, whoa, what a huge boss. That's crazy. And the spectacle will be after you sit there and do fight mechanics, which is like, you know, the same thing you've always done. Then you get a cutscene that's a spectacle, right? Yeah. And the same thing with Warcraft 3 where it's like, you have to defend long enough for the wisps to show up and kill the dude. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, great. However, I'm at the level where I'm like, I want to be that wisp, dude. I want to like throw myself at this guy and blow him up. That's what that's where I'm at. I don't want to do like, I'm a shaman and I'm going to shoot guys and cool, man. No, I don't like, you can make the boss as big as you want. Mechanically, it all still feels the same. I want to be like, no. I'm becoming the guy, right? Like, I think I'm like, I don't give a damn about cutscenes anymore. I want to interact with the moment and do something ridiculous. Yeah. That's what I want to be a part of I want to feel like my character just Kamehameha'd. Like, that's what I want to do. But I did it. It wasn't like it cuts to a cutscene and the cutscene does it. I want to be like, I run to a location, I press a button, and then all the people playing with me get to see my character go, yeah! That's what I want. I would love that.
Yeah.
And I understand that seems very quick-timey, but in an MMO, I kind of like those moments. In other video games, they exist. They've been doing that for years. But in an MMORPG, I don't know that that's the case. When you play online with people, I would just like more of those moments. I don't know.
I think they are more limited because of what
for
they
sure.
are.
For sure, but it doesn't mean you can't fudge it. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you can't put a marker on the ground, run to that marker, and then whoever's standing there activates the thing.
Yeah. I have a lore question for you, because this ties in the old WoW lore, so I feel like you might know this. So I was confused as to why they got mad at Illidan in the way that they did. Because it's like, first off, Tyranda's like, we'll bust him out of jail. He's been in there forever. And then he's like, Tyranda, why are you doing this? And then she's like, I'm just going to bust him out. And then he's like, I will save the world. And then he like, sure, he becomes a demon. But like he fights off the undead. And he's like, hey, look, I fought off the undead. And they're like, be gone. But then later on, when Tyranda's captured, Malfurion's like, yeah, you know, help us out even though you're a demon. And then he's like, hey, thanks for saving Tyranda. I'll let you go. It's like, he did the exact same thing. But one was Tyranda, so he was like, hey, thanks. And the other one was like, you saved the entire Night Elf faction. Like, get out of here, idiot.
Well, I mean, like, are you asking why he was originally imprisoned, or what are you asking?
Well, like kind of both. Why was he in prison? And then why did they get so mad that he killed off the undead just because he became a demon? Like, sure, they could be like, dude, you should not have done that. But hey, thanks for killing the undead. Like, they didn't even thank him. So
Illidan's basically, like, all it does is prove that Night Elf society is kind of shit. Essentially, in the original war, I think it's War of the Ancients, whatever the case may be, he gets a little too, like... You know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like in the 40K games where Titus, they're like, you're corrupted, Titus, you asshole. We're going to have to put you in prison. He like, basically he is a little, I will do whatever it takes to win kind of guy.
Right.
And so he's fine getting a little corrupted. And as far as I'm aware, and I could be wrong about this, but basically way back when, he was like, I'm going to, in order to win, I'm going to, I think it's like, in order to save the elves, I'm going to become what the elves won't, and I'm going to be like a little bit of a baddie and chug some demon juice, as I just read in chat. Like,
right. Yeah.
And so essentially he's just like, yeah, he's like an edgy anti-hero. But his punishment for being an edgy anti-hero is that he is imprisoned for 10,000 years by his own brother. And so he has a chip on his shoulder when he gets out. That's pretty much it. Also, he and Malfurion both wanted to bang Tyrande, and so that's probably part of it. Is he's like, that's true, I'm going to get 10,000 years of my girl and not you around. You know what it is? I just realized this. It's Wolverine and Cyclops. It's just Wolverine and Cyclops.
I guess it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. In fact, yeah, it's Wolverine, Cyclops, and then the other thing is Darth Vader. And then it's like, what if Wolverine, Cyclops, and Darth Vader all met?
Yeah.
Arthas, get out of here. And he's just like, get out of my way. Dude, Arthas has some great lines in that game. He'll just be playing, and he's just like, Arthas, you did it. He's like, I don't care. Like, he's straight up is like, I don't give a shit.
Oh my
and they're
God.
just like, oh yeah, I don't know.
I just realized, yes, chat's at Green Arrow's also correct in chat. Malfurion, after he got Tyrande to himself, was like, all right, I'm going to sleep. And he slept in the Emerald Dream for thousands of years. So literally he got the girl and then was like, well, I don't need to work for it anymore. And he dipped. I forgot that's tale as old as time. He was about the chase. He didn't care after that. Yeah.
That's also, I think it's funny where he's just like, Illidan, you saved us from the undead. Like, you became a demon? That's unbelievable. Get out of here. But then he's like, you saved Tyrande, even though you were a demon. I'll let you go. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, because that's all, because Malfurion is like a one-dimensional, literally that scene in WoW where he's like, Tyrande. That's his character. That's his whole character. His character is literally, I love her, and that's it.
Yeah.
They didn't develop anything else for him.
The only lines I remember from him in WoW is him just being like, Tyrande, where are you? And sacred vines entangle the corrupted.
Yeah. I'm aware that's not him. I'm aware that's like them messing with you. But the idea is that is his character. They still haven't developed him any further than I am the guy who's into this lady. And he's like, I like trees though. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, but essentially, Illidan is the guy who, in order to defeat evil, becomes evil in order to like infiltrate and kill them. And his reward for doing all of that, again, very Warhammer 40k Titus. It's like, I fought through hell and I did all this shit and I came out the other side a hero, and they're like, actually, no, you're corrupted. Sorry, bro, we're locking you away. Like, the same vibe. Same thing. And so when he comes out again and he does the exact same thing in Warcraft 3, they're like, why did we give you the Skull of Gul'dan, bro? Like, same thing. So
Yeah, and I think that's part of the problem I have with a lot of, not just like modern WoW writing, there's a lot of modern writing in general that just creates villains that are more like just bad to be bad. Because like I've seen a lot of people in modern writing where they're like, if you make a really bad villain or something, that means you're a bad person. Like, you've created this person. Like, there's some mindsets like that, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
That's like when people got mad at the actor who played Joffrey. And they're like, you're a bad person. And he's like, I'm a kid. What?
Well, it's like they'd be like, Gooseworks with Digital Circus. They're like, Gooseworks wrote this character that's really bad and mean, so that means Gooseworks bad and mean. Like, people actually
that was like
that.
That was a double one too, because it's like, you made a trans character a bad person? What does that say about you? It's like, no, it says that like anyone can be a bad person.
Well, Gooseworks is literally trans.
Yeah, like it's a human thing to be a dick. Some people are dicks. Like, it's a thing. And like, yeah.
So it's
like, WoW, I think, needs to commit, right? They made, I'm gonna say, Xal'atath potentially could have been a super interesting character, and instead they made her Skeletor. You know what I mean? Like, they made a character who could have been really interesting and super deep, and instead they just made her Skeletor. She shows up, does a thing, gets beat, and goes, "Nyah-ha-ha, I'll be back." And it's like,
and then she shows her feet.
yeah.
That's it. It's I think that's my biggest issue, is I just want someone that wants something, because I think that creates the most interesting villains, where it's like, I said before, if she just said like, my goal in life is to get the best shoes possible. Like, she's got her feet out, but she's like, I just want these super shoes, right? Like the shoes of the galaxy. I'm going to destroy everyone. I'd be like, dude, she's got a goal and she's willing to do what it takes to get those shoes. Like, I get it. But instead it's just like, what is she doing? And then people are like, she wants to survive. I'm like, who doesn't want to survive? Like, it's not a goal.
That's built into everyone, that like, it's just internally, it's part of life. Like, a fly is out there trying to survive, man.
And it's like, then you have like Sylvanas pop up and be like, I've escaped the inescapable area. And they're like, how'd you do that? And she's like, I don't know. See you later.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know what's happening. Like, it's just things, they don't explain anything, and then they'll explain it in like the end. And then it's like, I don't know. I think a lot of times I like those villains that have some sort of goal. It's kind of like Arthas, where at first Arthas is like, he wants revenge, right? And you're like, okay, he wants revenge. Like, that's, who hasn't wanted revenge at some point in their life?
Who doesn't want revenge? Yes.
And you're like, okay. And then you're like, he's like burning the grain, but like, I get it. He's trying to like save the town from spreading, right? He's like quarantining it. Like, it's a little crazy, right? He's killing everybody, but like, they're going to turn into zombies anyway. And it's like, okay, now he's burning his own people's ships and like the mercenaries, and now he's having the mercenaries killed. It's like, now this is getting a little insane. And then he like, you like watch him lose his mind, but you see how he started at that point. I think that's why people like that, is because you get to watch him go from like being a human with human feelings, like, oh yeah, I can see where he's coming from.
Admittedly, though, he's just Darth Vader. Like, let's not pretend.
Well, yeah, he's just
Darth Vader.
Vader. every story is just something. It's like how The Lion King and Dune are just Hamlet.
Oh,
like everything is something.
This isn't me saying that it's bad. What it is the distinction between old Warcraft and new Warcraft, which old Warcraft was like, yeah, we're aware our dude is Darth Vader. We're aware that a lot of what we're doing is tropey. That's why we have Harris Pilton selling you shit inside this town,
yeah.
Right? Like they knew it. They knew what they were doing. They're like, yeah, this is Johnny Badass or whatever the hell that character's name was. Like, yeah, no, they knew what they were. They were all tropes because it was an online game to play for fun, and you were enjoying it. And then at a certain point, they like got a whiff of their own farts and was like, that shit smells good, and it became very serious. And I think I'm myself and probably other people are to blame for that because I'm the asshole that's like, what's that snake tail? What's that exist? Why is that there? And so I think they got it in their head that they could tell real stories. And what ended up happening is there's this weird disconnect between the game and the stories they're trying to tell, which then means that a lot of the players are not me, right? A lot of the players are players who play for fun and goofs and giggles, and they don't give a shit about the story. So in order to include story, they had to include books and all these supplementary things in order to, like, there is literally so much stuff that they decided to do to tell a story when originally it wasn't, I don't think anyone, like, I know I didn't care about, like, Illidan's backstory. What I cared about, the things that interested me, was in original Warcraft, discovering those Uldum discs, right? And being like, what is this shit? What do you mean there's Titans? What is, like, there's that kind of stuff where I was like, whoa, I wasn't concerned with, what the like, I'm trying to think of like the Burning Legion, like it was the other things they included. That I was like, oh, there's a mystery to solve. It wasn't about, oh, what is, Jaina Proudmoore's backstory? It was like, oh my God, what is this weird thing they included? Like, what is that squid in the middle of the ocean? What's that about? Those were the things that interested me. And then that became, oh, it's connected to this and this and this and this. And then I was interested in the story. And then they started giving us like real plot. And I was like, oh, cool. So we'll get explanations. And we never really did. The thing about WoW is it feels like anything J.J. Abrams makes, where the first half is a mystery and you're like, yo, what is this going to be? And then the end is like, actually, it was never about that mystery. It was about you. You're like, what?
It really is. And then you're like, what about this thing? And they're like, well, you got to read a book for that. I hate when they tie actual game story and stuff into like going to read a book. Like the book should be for like bonus content that doesn't matter to the game, where it's like, oh, I just want to learn more about something, not like, oh yeah, you didn't know the void is afraid of death or whatever, that's in like Sylvanas book 4. Like, what? Okay.
Yeah, like learning that like there's unnecessary facts, like learning that Jaina had a relationship with, I think, Kalthos and Arthas and someone else, and it's like, I did not know or care.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, I will sit there, like, look, I know I'm a hypocrite when it comes to story stuff. I will sit there and be like, I don't care about that. That's stupid. But also, what's the deal with the Naga? And I will obsess over them. And then here's the problem with it. I will obsess over the Naga for multiple expansions. And then when they finally give us Queen Azshara, finally, she shows up for exactly one expansion and then is gone and is not resolved. I don't know what's going on currently in like the current patch, but I'm pretty up on what's happening in WoW. No resolution on that story. None. Like, they include tidbits that are awesome where it's like, yes, the elves and the trolls are connected. And then they'll give us stuff like the new race, which is like, that's the, missing link between the two of them. Cool. Love that. Right. That would interest me a lot. But then they'll also be like, the Naga, this mysterious underwater race that was from the original, elves back in the day. And like, yes, it's got Queen Azshara and it's going to be super important until it's not. And you're like, what do you mean? That's the problem I have, is it drives me crazy. They just pick weird. They'll have a plot and then divert from that plot completely. And you're like, but You literally had Queen Azshara disappear. Logic would state the next expansion, Queen Azshara would return for some reason. It's been multiple expansions, no Azshara.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Or they do the opposite, where they're just like, dude, N'Zoth is crazy. And you kill him in a patch. And you're like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I think part of that is like that realism factor of it, of like, yeah, this like crazy old god exists. And they're just like, oh, they're dead. And you're like, oh, okay. But then Sylvanas is out here surviving somehow still through numerous expansions in years because they want her to survive. And I think that's what sucks. It starts becoming that like Game of Thrones writing where they're like, well, we want them here because we like them here. And that's the play. It's like, that's not the story. That's not the realism of the characters.
Yeah. And I think that's the inherent problem with taking a game that was not necessarily about story to begin with. I remember playing through original WoW, and if you were Horde, when you got to level 50, there was nothing to do. You literally grinded to 60. And it was like, I made my story. I went to, the Eastern Plague Lands and goofed around and had fun. And I did Scholomance and was like, I don't know why I'm here, but like, this is cool. And then they gave us Burning Crusade. And that was kind of like, do you remember playing Warcraft 3? This is part of that. And I was like, yes, I do. Oh my God. And they included a little bit of story here and there, and it was fine. And then they did Wrath, and I was like, holy shit, this is peak. This is exactly what WoW should be. It's continuing Warcraft 3. We're getting good stories. Hell yes. And then they did Cataclysm, and I was like, we're doing Warcraft 2, dude? Amazing. This is so neat. And then after Cataclysm, someone said, we can do no wrong. Fuck it, let's have fun. And from that point on, it was like, it's pure insanity. Like, I genuinely believe they were like, we are gods of gaming. No one can touch us.
They probably were, yeah. Yeah. They definitely were. They probably got full of themselves. Like,
yeah.
We're kind of the number one game.
What's crazy is if you play Pandaria, it had some of the coolest storylines and content in it. All locked behind the dumbest progression shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it had some genuinely really cool stuff, yet mechanically sucked so much ass. And that's where I think they lost themselves, is they were like, we should be telling stories and making movies and doing, and it was like, okay, but like, make a good game first. And I think Myst is where I literally quit playing for a year during Myst. I unsubscribed, went played other things. That's the reason I didn't get that damn statue when it said, have you played for 15 years? I did play for 15 years, but I quit for a year during that time period because Myst pissed me off so much because it was like, did you do all 25 of your dailies? No, bro. I got shit going on. I was teaching at the time. No, I wasn't. I was playing
Yeah,
that's when my
we
Let's
literally
Play
played the mop beta.
Yeah, that's when my Let's Play channel started.
Beta together.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You can literally tell when I stopped playing WoW.
Cataclysm.
Yeah, when I stopped playing WoW is when I started doing Let's Play videos on YouTube because I was so tired of WoW. And then I came back to it for the next expansion.
Well, I still make WoW videos.
And I commend you for that because you love it.
Granted, my videos are, again, like, how long can I survive in every WoW zone? Which WoW racials are fun? Top 10 roads in WoW, right?
You're having fun
it's
with
about
the
having
content.
fun in the world. Yeah.
Yes, you are choosing.
Yeah.
You're making the choice to interact with WoW like it is the old days, where people would make those videos and they would be like, here I am in the Eastern Plague Lands looking at like the weird mushrooms. You're doing that. What most people do when it comes to WoW content is they will play it every day, then make a 35-minute video about how much they hate it.
Exactly.
And you're like, why play then?
Because that gets more views when they make negative content.
Sure.
Also, I hate to pull a Dodger, but I have to leave because I have to take Toaster Woman to the airport.
Okay.
So, like, should I just, like, put my camera in a box or...
Sure, man. This is... What an episode. What an episode. Yes. Yes. You do that. You do that. And I'll wrap it up myself, man. No one, by the way,
yeah,
no one told me any of this. This is exactly.
Well, put it in the Discord.
I
Did
don't
you read the Discord?
It's 2026. I don't read.
That's true. He doesn't read.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. YouTube.com/Crendor. So you.
Okay. Anyway, he left, and now it just says Crendor. So instead of leaving a box in my face, it. Have you ever felt like you're the only professional one? Do you ever feel like everyone who hangs out with you is just doing a fly-by-night operation, and you're the only one who actually is a professional? Do you ever just feel that? Do you ever just think, maybe I'm the only one? Do you ever just think that? Do you ever have that feeling? Now you know how TB felt. Now I do. Now I know. Well, this is good because we can talk about this and I can answer your questions. So, and I guess several other people, by the way, I just now realized my entire screen is flipped, which is hilarious. So, I was very fortunate enough to play Dawnwalker. So, this is the game that, if you haven't seen any trailers or anything about this game, it is you play as a vampire man who is a daywalker, basically. So, during the day, you're a human, and at night, you're a vampire. And so, it is essentially a, how do I put this? The team that worked on it is a lot of, do they sponsor Jesse? No. This is this is a thing I love. And I think if you saw a bunch of people who put out reviews of what they played this week, this game's going to be big. This game's going to be huge. It's by a lot of the team that did Witcher 3. And so when I say, if you enjoyed Witcher 3's mechanics, if you enjoyed Wild Hunt, you will absolutely enjoy this game. It is awesome. What I played is super cool, and so I'll try to describe it to you. Basically, and this is why I'm opening to questions, because I played like hours of this game. Hours. Essentially, it is a game where you have a daytime cycle, a nighttime cycle, but everything is time-based. So essentially, you have, like, let's say you go to a town and you find a bunch of NPCs and there are quests. Next to the quest, or at least informationally in the quest, it'll give you sort of a countdown of how much time it'll take away from your day. And the reason why is because your family has been kidnapped to be sacrificed by this like vampire deity who runs your town. Essentially, plot-wise, this isn't a spoiler, this is just the setup to the game. You were in a small town in Eastern Europe. Your town was being hit by the plague, and the people that came to save it was a vampire like group. Like, it's 4 vampires. You got, like, the guy who's from Mongolia, kind of. You got, like, the lady vampire. You got the, like, I'm the tough boss vampire. And then you got, like, the sassy, kind of sexy vampire guy. And they're the 4 that roll into town. They save you, and they're like, all we ask is a tribute of blood at our Sunday service. See you there, everybody. And so, your town is now controlled by these vampires, and everyone hates it, but you don't want to say shit because the vampires will just eat your ass. So everyone there kind of like does this thing. Anyway, you as a character have like some crazy, it does a thing that I actually love a great deal, where your character has visions and they're like trippy as hell. I love a good trippy vision character. I need more games to give me trippy visions. Right? I need like your character to be like, oh boy, that's what I want. I want that. And so your character has these visions. I'm not sure what they're about yet. I have no clue. But mechanically, at least what I got to play is it's like, okay, when you go around town, you'll meet people. So like, I met one guy and he was like, hey, your mother's stupid and I hate you. And you can actively chase this guy down and beat the crap out of him. But as you sit there and start to fight him, a thing will appear and be like, if you engage with this guy, it's going to take time. And you have to be at the Black Sabbath or whatever the hell they're calling it, the Blood Sabbath. You have to be at that thing at the end of the day. So just letting you know, if you chase this guy and beat the shit out of him for making fun of your mom, it will take time. Like that kind of thing. So maybe you let him go. Or you're like me, you hunt him down and you beat the crap out of him. Then, and by the way, when it does a very Witcher thing, which I loved, which is, okay, you can chase this guy down, and when you get to him, you can be like, what is your problem, dude? And you'll have dialogue with him, and then you discover, oh, his dad, kind of a dick. His dad beats the shit out of him. So if you don't beat him and his dad walks up and he's like, what's my boy doing? If you tell the dad would be like, I'll show him what's what. And then you have to be like, either stop it, father, or you like, it's that level of complexity where, yeah, you can run up and immediately punch him in the face, or you could talk to him, or you could talk to him long enough the dad shows up and is like, is my son being stupid? I'll teach him a lesson. And then you have the next level of like, please don't, sir. Or be like, yeah, beat his ass. So there's that level of complexity to a simple quest is like, this dude absolutely was just giving you a hard time. And I was like, oh shit, that's super fun. Then there's one quest I found, and this is all very early. It's not important to the plot at all. Like there's one side quest that was like, this lady was doing a tapestry, and the tapestry was for the vampires for their church. And everyone in town is like, why are you making a tapestry? It's unholy. This thing has like terrible monsters on it and stuff. Don't do that. And she's like, but if I don't make it for them, they'll eat me. And the town's like, we don't care. Don't make that. Anyway, someone steals the tapestry and you have to go around town finding out who it was. And the quest is like, this will take time. Here's the thing. There's a clock in the corner that ticks down. It's when you take a quest and complete a quest, does time move. So you can dick around and go off into the woods and hunt stuff. I literally went into the woods and beat 3 boars with my bare fists because I could, right? It didn't take any time. So there's like a time mechanic, but it isn't anyway. So you go run around and you have to like look at stuff and figure out who, by the way, there's not a Witcher sense. You just have a sense and you can like look at footsteps and things like that. So you go around, you try to find this woman's thing. Here's the thing though, because it's the same style, right? You can find it and then you can either hand it back in or not. You can be like, couldn't find it, sorry, but there's ramifications because you do eventually that night have to go to the Black Sabbath thing, the blood feast, whatever. And if that banner's not there, are they going to kill her? I don't know, right? So you have to make choices. Another really cool thing is that everything has like twists, which I love. Everything's got a little twist. So there was one quest I took, and I will say in that opening bit, for the day portion before the you had to be at church, I managed to get 3 quests done. Technically 2.5, because one of the quests I took was huge, and it was like, okay, we want, like, this guy's like, my brother's gone missing in the swamp. Will you go find him? I'm like, sure, man, I'll go. That's a lie. I did 3.5 quests because there's another quest where it's like your sisters and brother are like, come fish with us. And I was like, well, I'm going to go fish with them. Right. So I did 3.5 quests, but one of the half quest I did was like, okay, go find this guy in the swamp. So I went to the swamp and I found that he fell in a hole. So I went down to the hole. I found his body. But then as you keep trying, you have to get out of this hole. And as you do, you end up in like, there's lore There's a boss fight. I got an awesome pair of bracers that I could use. There was like a whole level of stuff going on. And I was like, this rules. However, I didn't get to turn in the quest because the minute I came out of the hole, time ticked by, and it was like a dude from the church, one of the minions of the vampire, shows up and is like, it's time to go. And he like literally drags your ass to the church. So I didn't get to turn in the quest. Dude was just like, nope, let's go. So you go to the church, A to B to C happens, and then you vampire it up, baby. And I'm not going to say why, but at that point you are part vampire. And so you have daytime skills, which is like, I can use my sword, I can do sword things, I can sneak around, I can do stuff, but you also have nighttime skills. So yeah, at night you can use your sword still, or you can get huge claws and be like, I'm going to vampire the shit out of everyone. And there is some sort of mechanic where it's like, if you go a little too vampire-y, you start to become a monster yourself. And yes, there's witchcraft. There is a witch. Y'all, I love her. I love her. She's my favorite trope about any of these games where there's a witch and she lives in the woods. She's not a redhead, but she's like, it's so funny. Basically, you're like a young man and you hang out with her often. Right? Because she's like the lady who lives outside in the woods and she has like medicine your mom needs. Your mom needs medicine. I'm not going to explain why, but you hang out with her often. And you as a character, your guy clearly is into her, but it's so funny because she's like, I'm so old. No one wants to be with me. You'll find a lovely wife. Don't hang out with me. Stop it. Stop flirting with me. I'm an old woman. Y'all, I think she's like 30. I think she's like in her late 20s or 30. But she's like, of the time, old. And it's really funny to me because she's like, stop it. You don't want me. I'm so old. I'm a hag. I live in the woods. And I'm like, lady, I love you. I, Jesse Cox, love you. But A to B to C happens. The town is completely gone, and she's like, I'll help you. You need to go do this stuff. And at that point on, it's open world as shit. As far as I'm aware, unless you are like actively doing the story, the game just says, here's the deal. You have 30 days to go get your family and save them. And if you don't, they die. The end. However, I was told there's more content after the 30 days, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's more story or if it's just like there's more open world content to do, but everything you do has a time factor to it. And I actually kind of liked it in a way that I wasn't expecting. Usually I hate that, but I think I like it because they told you right out the gate, they told you, here's the thing. This is what you need to know. So a great example is I just, once I was in the open world, I started to explore and I was like, well, I'm going to do what I did in Witcher 3, which was I'm going to take this first area and I'm going to clear everything there is to clear. If there is a landmark or something, I'm just going to go and see what it is. Honestly, it's because I don't want to spoil myself too much in the story. I know a lot of people when they play these games, they just, especially like, they go to an event and they play a game for a couple hours. They just speedline the story. Nah, I want to play the game. So I decided to just look around and explore stuff. So I ended up discovering this note, and it was like, hey, we're up in this shack in the mountains, and we're a bunch of bandits being assholes, and we stole a bunch of loot and buried it. If you want that loot, you better come find us. And I was like, cool. So I went up in the mountains, found this cabin, fought a bunch of dudes up there, and then when I killed them, found the note, and was like, okay, they buried this treasure out in the middle of nowhere. Awesome. Okay. So I hiked over there, and then I found a mound of dirt, but a bear was protecting it. And the bear was like, what up? I'm a bear. And I was like, oh, shit. So I fought this bear, and then after I fought the bear, but mind you, no time has passed, right? There's no time mechanic right here. However, this giant mound of dirt, I was like, okay, I need a shovel. So I walk over the shovel, and as I'm about to dig the dirt, it literally says, this will take 1 time increment to do. So it isn't like you magically just go, yup. You literally have to dig, and it's going to take a little bit of time of your day to do this. Do you want to do this? I did it. I will personally say I don't think it was worth it, which I think is part of the mechanics of it. If you don't know what you're getting into, maybe there's something amazing. Maybe there's not. And I was like, okay. So you really have to be selective about what you think you're going to do with your time. However, I don't know how big the game is. So maybe you can do a lot in 30 days. You know what I mean? But also, there's one part where the witch lady is like, hey, I need you to help me dig this thing out. And I was like, yeah, of course I will. That took half a day. But it makes sense in your brain because you literally had to dig out a wall. So you're moving giant stones. It took half a day. So that, I mean, like, honestly, save scumming, you probably could do. Like, if you really want to save scum, you could. But I think the whole point is there's replayability. And you can, like, there's one moment in the game that I don't want to spoil at all, but I will say that it involves a person who discovers your vampirism. And I watched people around me play through that moment, and I think I saw multiple ways that can go down. My guy had problems. My dude was like, because you're a new vampire, you can't really control your vampirism. So I made a lot of choices that involved me just eating people. And I was like, probably shouldn't have done that. But other people clearly were fighting it. And I don't know what happened. Like, I made the choice to just eat dudes. And what ended up happening is, in cutscenes, you'll have options, right? But my guy, because he was so bloodlusty, one of the options kept growing bigger and bigger, and it was like, nope, you have to do this because you just keep eating people, dude. And I was like, oh, that's super interesting. So there's levels to it that are really cool for storytelling. So I can't wait to see, like, kind of what the rest of the game is like. I enjoyed it tremendously. Also, the music's phenomenal. The gameplay, I will say, mechanically, there's two styles of play. So there's the way they want you to play, which I played it for them. I probably won't play this way at launch. But playstyle 1 is your sword and your blocking is directional. So you can swing up, you can swing down, you can swing left, you can swing right. So can the enemy. So you need to figure out where they're swinging to block that direction. Or you can turn that off and the game will just do it for you. However, they did say if you turn that off, it will take more stamina to swing. I believe that's what they said. It'll take more to do stuff. So you don't need to do it, but it will kind of mess with your stamina stuff. And I was like, all right. So I'm fine with that because my mind, I was so busy trying to do cool moves, I wasn't thinking about up, down, left, right. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, is the soundtrack great? The soundtrack's awesome. Soundtrack is dope. The acting, great. Visually, stunning. I didn't know what to expect. And when I left, I was like, I want to play this more than I've wanted to play any game in a long time. So I got to play, a few hours, like 3-4 hours. So I don't necessarily know what the rest of the game's going to be like. But the stuff I did get to play was, I basically played the first intro bit. And then I got to do some open world stuff. But I'm sure there's people out there who were at the event who literally pushed ahead in the story and they could probably tell you more. But it has a lot of the potential of maybe you don't want to save scum. Maybe you just want to see what happens with your character. Because like, F it, let's have some fun. But I really enjoyed that bit. I thought that was super cool. Yeah, like if you have any questions, ask me. I'll try to. Is there footage? No, sadly, no. Sadly, no. I wasn't allowed to record. But yeah, it's coming soon. It's one of the many games coming out in September and early October trying to avoid GTA. So it's soon. But yeah, if you have questions, I got you. I can answer. Is there Gwent? I didn't see if there was any card game or any small game in it. Am I going to play it on YouTube? No. Will I play it on stream? Sure. I think after all the editing I had to do for Scary Game Squad, I don't know if my soul can handle YouTube Let's Plays. You'll get VODs over on Cox Clips, but the editing for YouTube can kiss my ass. I'd rather do a video like Tell Me About, which, by the way, this Monday, a new Tell Me About featuring that bronze girl and talking about D&D DMing. Was the directional combat stuff potentially a deal breaker for some? I don't think so, because I was bad at it and I was still winning fights. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a deal breaker. I wasn't good at it, but I was still doing stuff. So, you know, I don't think so. Can you do a lot in one day if everything moves time forward? So, like I said, in the initial bit, it literally set you a timetable. When you first start playing, it sets a timetable. It says, you have a main quest, and it's like, okay, you need to go to the witch to get some medicine for your mother. That's the initial quest. And then when you go out in town, your sisters and brother will be like, hey, help us fish. And you can say yes or no. But if you say no, you can still find them later and help them fish, by the way. I initially said no because I was like, I want to see what else is going on in town before I just jump in. And what ends up happening is they're there. They go off to fish and you can join them if you want, which I appreciated. But basically, you have your main quest. It's like, go do this. And then as you walk around town, other things will happen that can pull you into it. Totally, like I was saying earlier, I did 3.5 quests. I did a quest chasing a bully, and I beat the shit out of him. I did a quest where I helped an old lady find a tapestry. I did a quest where I helped my brother and sisters fish. And then I did a half a quest where I went to go look for a guy's brother lost in the woods. And then the game literally, like, when I came out of the dungeon area, the game grabbed me and was like, you're late for the meeting, let's go. And so I got pulled to the meeting and I had to go do that. So I like that a lot. No, there's not a customizable thing. You're literally playing the main character. That's it. There is no, I get to design my character. You get to design the way your character plays, but you don't get to just like make yourself look like anything. So, but your character, you can decide the amount of like back end stuff when it comes to your abilities. You can decide between your daytime abilities, your Wiccan or witch abilities, your vampire abilities. Like, you don't have to go into vampirism at all, really. At night, you'll turn into one, but you don't have to do anything. There is clothes and armor stuff you can change into, absolutely. There's different weapons and things you can find. There's bracers and stuff. Like, I found these cool bracers that seemed early game broken as shit, and I was like, yeah. It doesn't feel like you're playing against the clock, but it is intended to make you feel that way. Because in the beginning, the intro, it literally says, remember, we have to be at this meeting tonight, so when nightfall hits, you have to be at the church. And I tried to push that as far as I could, and the game, when nighttime hit, I was in a dungeon when nighttime hit, right? So I was like, oh, did I avoid it? What's going to happen? The minute I exit out the dungeon, the guy's like, where have you been? And he grabs me and pulls me into the meeting. So I wonder if that, like, I couldn't complete that quest. Now, I did kill a boss. I did get dope loot. And I did find out information, but I couldn't turn in the quest because some shit happened and that quest giver wasn't around anymore. But like, it gave you, it told you in advance, this is the thing. So same thing with the main story. It's like, your family is kidnapped. You have literally 30 days to save them. Go nuts. I'm wondering if there's a Summer Games Done Quick version of someone literally being like, all right, day one, let's go save my family. You know what I mean? Like, could you just go do it right away? I don't know. I have no clue. So it's does the vampirism give Dark Urge vibes? From what I saw, yes. From what I experienced, the more you go vampire, the more it seems, again, it could just be intro stuff. I don't know. But when I was talking to other people who were playing, they didn't have the same scene I had. I had a scene where my guy lost control and started munching on folks, and they did not. So I don't know. So I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think they answered a question that I love Cyberpunk. I think it's a fantastic game. There is a conceit within it, though, that's like you have a thing in your head that's going to kill you. Anyway, have fun. You know what I mean? And I think that's most open world games have that. This game is saying, no, you have 30 days or else your family's dead. And I think it's a double-edged sword because I like being able to explore and take my time and not feel rushed, right? But the realism of you only have so much time, I feel like is what they're going for. You know what I mean? So my biggest worry in this was, I don't want to feel rushed. I don't I'm going to hate this because I feel like I have I just want to explore. There's a mix. You can go into the open world, you can explore, you can fight random shit, but things that require time will be marked. So you'll be like, I want to go do this thing. It says it'll take one segment of time. So it'll let you know. But if you just want to go around and farm stuff, or you just want to fight guys or look for treasure, you can do that. But sometimes the hunt for treasure will be like, actually, if you're going to dig here, it's going to cost you one time segment, dude. So you have to make the choice. Do I want to dig there? Or maybe you mark it on your map. You say, okay, I know where that's at, and I will return there if I have the free time, which is kind of like real life, which I appreciated. I was like, okay, so I can get up to a certain point, and the minute it says this will take time, I'm going to stop. I'm going to pull back. Going back to the intro bit where your brother and sister were like, hey, do you want to come fish with us? We need to get some food. You can say yes or no. But if you say no, it doesn't mean they won't go fish. They went to go fish. So you can find them down by the river and fish with them if you want. I was like, yo, that's cool. That's really cool. Controller or keyboard and mouse? I played with a controller, but I feel like a keyboard and mouse would be fine. I wonder how modern day setting will play mechanically. I don't know if that's even in the, when I talked to the devs, I was like, yo, what's the deal with that trailer? What do you mean the modern setting? What's going on? And they're like, who knows what it could be? I don't even know if it's in the game. I don't know what the modern, I feel like that is, because you're a vampire, right? So you're going to live, I don't know what that means. That could be just a thing they threw in the trailer. I genuinely don't know. Does stuff change depending on calendar days? Will the owner of a pub only be there on the 10th or the 15th day? I don't know. Solid question. I didn't notice anything like that. But characters do stuff. You know what I mean? People in town are actively doing things. So next time you have a solo show, it wasn't a solo show. There were three of us. Then Dodger left. Then Krendor left. All before the hour 15 mark. They were tired. They were. No, Jesse, it's been you alone the entire time. No. So I enjoyed it. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I absolutely loved playing it. Yeah, I don't know. Good stuff. Okay. We're almost at the end here, so let's get crazy. Let's talk news, shall we? We already talked about Kojima and his desire to get physical stuff because he's tired of all the digital things and he's not happy with Sony. Well, we also learned this week, speaking of terrible gaming news, Microsoft announced even more restructuring. This time, according to Kotaku, around, actually, let's change the thing. Me having to do this by myself, not fun. News! According to Kotaku, around 60 to 70 developers were fired from Obsidian, which included producers, artists, designers, programmers, QA testers, and writers. Then we heard that id Software coders have been let go as well, with insiders telling Bloomberg that Bethesda will now focus on Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein only. We'll see how any of those games do without any people to make them. I don't know, man. What's crazy is it has the same vibe as Embracer Group, where Embracer Group was like, we're here to save gaming. We're going to become the biggest gaming thing in a few years, so help us. So we're going to buy all these IPs. And then they killed them. They killed every single one. And Microsoft has done the exact same thing. They just bought up a bunch of shit. And then, like, y'all, can I tell you my theory? I am convinced, by the way, Asher Sharma, who is the new big head at Xbox, is now, I just want to say, I just saw this today and it's so funny to me. Xbox CEO Asher Sharma named an advisor to the U.S. Federal Reserve on jobs and productivity. I don't know what else to say about that. Like, the person firing everyone is going to advise on jobs and productivity? Okay, anyway, my theory, and I believe this to be true. I believe it deep in my soul. So, after Spencer left, right? Spencer came in, bought all these things, tried to, like, make Xbox a thing again, right? Instead, Xbox floundered more than it ever did because they bought stuff but didn't make stuff, which is insane. They bought all these companies and then didn't make anything with them. Anyway, he leaves, Asher Sharma comes in, and I'm convinced that her whole thing is she's been brought in by Microsoft to lay off people, fire people, slim down Microsoft to the point where they can start over and try to, in her words, be a huge gaming company by 2030. I'm convinced she is going to be the person, please hate me. I'm going to fire everyone, hate me. I don't care. In 2 or 3 years, she will be gone. She will leave. She'll get a golden parachute. She'll make $500 million, leave, go somewhere else, and they'll hire a new person to come in. And because the bad person is gone, this new person will come in, go on, Keely's Key 3, talk about the future of Xbox, all the cool shit we're doing. By the way, new Halo or whatever. And everyone will be like, yeah, this guy's amazing. And the internet as a whole will forget what just happened. I'm convinced of this. That is her. That's why she's there. She's there to destroy and burn everything to the ground and then leave. That's exactly what's going to happen. And I'm convinced of this because their goal is 2030, right? So all she has to do is stick around till 2028 or whatever, burn everything down. Then in the 2029 Key 3 show, some dude is going to come out and be like, this is the new Xbox. And every dude, bro, on the internet's going to be like, oh my God, they're back, bro. I'm so excited. It's what's about to happen. It's what's about to happen. Yeah, so brace yourself for that. Anyway, in fun news, every major Japanese football team has now been assigned a Pokemon. That's right, 60 teams across 3 tiers. And when I say football, I mean soccer for the Americans. 60 teams across 3 tiers have been given a Pokemon mascot for the 30th anniversary of the franchise. All fans who attend home matches for these clubs through September will get a bag with the mascot on it that is not for sale anywhere else. It will only be given out. It's incredibly cute. It's incredibly cute. I'm here for it. I'm sure all of you saw the Mewtwo thing in New York where Mewtwo took over Times Square. and people were trying to hunt Mewtwo for Pokemon Go, which, by the way, still a thing, still very popular. Cute. Norway or England? Norway, dude. Sorry, England. My dad's side of the family, besides being Irish, has Norwegian blood. Thus, although my mom's side, no, my dad's side also has English. Oh, this is tough. Oh, this Vikings win. Also, Holland got that dude. He looks like a villain from every 80s movie, but he has a childlike innocence. If you've seen him interact with people online, that guy rules. Did you see the one where the dude asked him, he said, some guy said, "Are you a man or a woman?" to him. And he responded, "Well, my mom was a woman, my father was a man, so I guess I'm a little bit of both." And I was like, he's trolling on a level that is delightful. Delightful. So I must stress, guy's great. Huge fan. He looks like Skinny Boo. He does look like Skinny Boo. That is true. So he is a player. Honestly, can I be real? He's also really close to setting some like new records. And I would just like to see that happen. Plus, watching Norway lose its shit is a delight. England always loses its shit. That's a thing. The Norwegians, I don't know what they got going on over there, to be honest. So watching them all lose their shit over like their team doing well is a true delight to me. It's on the same level as when I saw people come to America and try like barbecue for the first time. I'm here for people enjoying themselves, is what I'm saying. Unfortunately, he plays for Manchester City. Well, you know what? Not everyone's perfect. Did I see the news story about the Norwegian guy who refused to do the rowing thing? Well, I hope they threw him overboard. I'd do the rowing thing. That looks super fun. Or I'd be the guy who yells row, which would be super fun. We've never done this good. It's fun to watch. Yeah, so I'm here for it. What's the other one? Spain? Is it Belgium versus Spain? Look, I got to go for Belgium. Look, Spain, I love you. You're delightful. But Belgium, I feel like Belgium needs a little love. So I'm going to say Belgium. All right. Anyway, then, look, this is the real news story. Y'all, this is the real news story, and I need you all to understand this because it's incredible, and I don't understand how we're here or what. Like, I don't understand. Anyway, were any of you aware of the Love and Deepspace drama? Because, oh my God. Love and Deepspace is a game that I'm pretty sure is just for gooning on sexy dudes. They introduced a new character. I believe his name is Valko. Valko is like a werewolf man, like a tough werewolf boy. And the internet, especially, I believe, mostly players overseas, lost their minds. Not in a good way. Because for a long time, the other characters, they were demanding more content for them. They were like, I have my waifu and husbando, and I really, really love them. Well, they introduced this new character, and everyone, I think the groundswell was in China, but people got so mad that Valko exists because he caters to the Western eye. I don't know what that means, but they were upset that he exists. And they were like, you aren't making new stuff for our previous characters. I think it was something like 500 days without an update on their like husbandos, right? So they were like, we had this new character. He's the leader of the bad guys. And as far as I'm aware, is the one who has hurt their other characters. So like, if I fell in love with like a sexy soldier man, the bad guy who beat him up is this dude. So already they're like, I hate him. I hate this man for hurting my love. So that's another layer to it, right? Then, because they added a sixth character, people got upset that getting pools for the other 5 characters would be harder. So because they fell in love with character A, for example, this new character would make it harder to get stuff for their character. So they were upset about that. So the Chinese fandom went insane. Like, started posting extremely negative, like millions and millions of negative comments. They boycotted the game. They were causing like a drop in revenue, just crazy stuff. They harassed the devs online. The government tried to get involved to the point where the devs literally were like, all right, we're scrapping Valko. Valko won't be in it anymore. Also, yeah, F y'all. We aren't going to make anything new. It's crazy. There are fans who want Valko back. There's fans who are like, screw this guy. There's like Chinese regulation happening. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. This is me just skimming and trying to remember what I saw about this. There is so much nonsense happening. And I think it's just because people got obsessed with this. Here's what I'll say. Having done a previous tool for this on Love and Deepspace, which, by the way, I just want to point out for the record, I originally, so you know the game Love in a Dangerous Space-Time? I thought that's what this game was, and one of my exes, she's really into Love in Deepspace, and I thought she was really into Love in a Dangerous Space-Time, and I was like, okay, sure. Little did I know, really, she was into like sexy Asian men, which probably should have been a sign for me that we wouldn't work out. Probably should have figured that out. But, oh well. But like, it's really funny to me that that's how I know about this game. I was like, oh, okay. And this I think is, it's just so weird to me that like having seen the game, it is extremely horny. Like, a lot of the game is unlocking either audio clips or video clips of your husbando being horny as hell. Genuinely horny. And there's one character I watched where his scene is he's like in prison and chained up and he's trying to like bite you. And the entire time the voice actor is not like, he's in the distance, he's chained up back here, right? But the voice actor is like in the microphone, he's like, so, have you come to... And I'm like, first off, he would not be like that. He would not be up in the microphone because my dude is chained up far away. I was like, no. I like how the audio mix was my problem. I was fine with horny girls being or guys, horny people being horny for these men. I was fine with it. In fact, I get it. If anyone's horny on main, it's me constantly. But like the audio mix, I was like, he wouldn't sound like that. You're doing it because you're trying to get people to get off, and you're trying too hard. I don't like it. Anyway, speaking of don't like it, many people didn't like the change with Valko. And then we come to our releases, so I can wrap this up for me. This coming week, a lot of releases are coming down the pipeline. July 13th, Ascend to Zero is a time-controlling action roguelite where you slice through enemies in a game that for some reason seems like a Dodger game. And if Dodger was here, she'd probably really like it. It's one of those 2.5D run around, shoot stuff, dash around the screen games. On July 14th, Detopia, a game that I've actually played. Is the Annapurna puzzle game where you play, it's like an adventure puzzle game where you play as a person who is transferred to a station. I don't know if it's a space station, but a station where everything's run by AI and you are basically the facilitator who fixes all that stuff. And so you need to keep the station working, but like something seems a little weird. I don't know if it's one of those secret horror games. I don't think that's the case, but it definitely has a vibe of like, we put our faith in AI, and it ain't shit. So I'm very excited for that. But the puzzles were super fun, and it seems pretty interesting. On July 15th, The Mound Omen of Cthulhu comes out. It's a 4-player co-op game of Cthulhu hunting in the jungle. It's Eldritch horror, but co-op in a jungle, running around trying to be absolutely creepy and weird. But also there's like jungle dudes trying to kill you or whatever. Looks like Friend Slop at its finest. Very interested in playing this. I hope I can find people to play with me because I love me some Eldritch horror. Then on the 16th, so many games come out. Heave Ho 2, which is the co-op game where you and your friends kind of like hook onto each other and you have to swing around and like get through traps and do all sorts of weird stuff with physics-based shenanigans. Good stuff. Then one of my favorite recent point and clicks returns, another adventure from the team that brought you Tangle Tower or Detective Grimoire. The Mermaid Mask comes out. Solve mysteries. It's a point and click. You enjoy good goofs. The voice acting is from people that I grew up with. I think it's so much fun. Back in the early 2000s, before any of this was happening, I was still doing stuff on the internet. You just didn't know about it. In the early 2000s, I was making AMVs. I was on the Voice Acting Alliance forums. And a lot of those people, Edwin, for example, who was in my Vagrant Story audio dub back in the day, Edwin is the lead voice actor of the Mermaid Mask and the Grimoire series and stuff. So very pleased for old friends. We also have Featherland, an idle game where you help birds grow. You hatch eggs, you care for the burbs, you decorate, you just chill with music, nature sounds, all of that, and you just grow some birds and make a little bird sanctuary. Looks very cute. Featherland is the name of that one. Then also
that
on the 16th.
Really cute.
Hello? Are you
Hello?
Dodger? Voice of God?
Hello.
Anyway, welcome back. Hi. Lovely.
Hi.
Hey, nice to have you here.
Yeah, thanks so much. There's nothing for people to see. I'll just be the ghost over your shoulder.
Great. Then we have Dead Weight coming out the 16th. Sky Pirate steampunk game that's like a tactical RPG. You hire a trusty pirate crew to rob ships, explore floating islands, take on ancient gods, and discover secrets in a dark world. Literally, the trailer's like, we're pirates, giant tentacle beast. So awesome. Love that stuff. Then we have Looking for Fail, Fael, for those of you who want to look it up. It's a Jesse game if I've ever seen one. Basically, you discover that you're in an apartment that you thought you knew, but things are now weird. You're going to question reality. It's filled with puzzles and escape room-esque mechanics. It looks awesome. And then finally, the reason to exist this week, really. The game of the week, if you will. Japan's very own Sweet Hamster Days. An FMV game where you are a reincarnated hamster and you live with 3 sisters. And if you're wondering if it's a romance game, yes, it is a romance game between a pet hamster and 3 sisters.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
And it's an FMV game, by the way. It's an FMV game, so you know I need to
What?
Do it. Yep. Now you might say, but Jesse, Pal World, it's 1.0. It's no. Sweet Hamster Boys. No, I'm sorry, Sweet Hamster Days is the one that you should be playing. So there you go. Anyway, that is it for me. That is it for Dodger. I'm gonna wrap this up. Everyone have a lovely, lovely day. Be good, and I will see you next time. Dodger, thanks for coming back at the end. What now? Oh,
did you do the end spiel?
Dodger, what do you got going on this week?
Oh, that's not what I meant. I got nothing going on. Hey, but guys, if you enjoyed Geekenders, you should watch all of the previous Geekenders on youtube.com/Jesse Cox. We're also on the podcasting apps and sites, and we would love your support. If we have enough concurrent viewers, Jesse will get a tattoo of my mushroom character on himself.
True.
He has
I will
promised
do that.
this.
Yeah, that's just letting you know it's going to happen. It'll be my first tattoo ever. So,
yep.
Help us out.
Make it happen, gang.
Make it happen. All right. Yeah. And reminder on Monday, brand new Tell Me About with Bronze Girl, talking about D&D DMing. So please check that out. Anyway, that's it. We'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.